Danica Patrick in studio, and she's got some nice high heels on. You want to, there they are, your pumps. I like how you walk past the desk. I don't get to show off my shoes there.
Well, otherwise I had tennis shoes to wear.
Danica Patrick in New York today to help promote NBC's season launch of NASCAR, racing in the first Sprint Cup event of 2016 Saturday night, the Coke Zero 400 from Daytona. 7 Eastern, Danica driving the number 10 Nature's Bakery Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing.
That's what I should have brought. I should have brought some Nature's Bakery fig bars for you.
You didn't?
When you're working overtime and you need a little snack on the go. Look at that. I'm like a promotional ad.
You didn't bring any treats?
No.
Great.
I think I have one in my purse if you need one.
Can we divvy it up for all of my guys over there as well?
It will be bite size, yes. I think we could make 8 small bites.
When you walk around New York, do you get reaction? Oh, you don't walk around New York?
No, I ride around New York. I don't really think I walk very far.
Really?
There's a restaurant around every corner. You don't need to walk very far.
If you did walk, what reaction do you think you would get?
Well, it's challenging because I'm ready to throw an elbow just like the next person in New York City. So looks, I'd probably get like, jerk. But you mean popularity, like do people recognize me?
Yeah, or what would they say to you?
I don't know. I don't really get a ton of that. I think I get a lot of this. Like people walk and they walk by me and then they go. And they look at my butt.
They look at you.
I think that it's like that delayed reaction, out of place. And I'm a lot smaller than people think I would be. And I know you critiqued my entourage, which I did not invite all of them.
You brought a posse in here.
I have one person I need. The other people are here for the fun of it. But I don't travel around like pretentiously. So I don't wear a hat. I wear sunglasses if it's sunny out. Yeah. But and I don't have a big group of people. And I don't need a bodyguard. I'm mean enough.
But this attitude, or is it just your personality? Like, do you have to almost embrace that to be competitive, to be great, I have to be this? Or is that just who you are?
I'm just curious. What's the this that you're...
Just your persona, like the competitiveness that you have to have, that I'm not going to take any nonsense. I mean, it doesn't feel like you let your guard down when it comes to...
True. I think I have learned some of that. Like when I was young and I was 16 when I moved to England and raced cars over there and moved away from home and left high school. I was pretty green and open and, honest and upfront, and I'm not sure it served me very well. So I think I learned some of the control. But I think if you're a true competitor, it's in you. It's in me. It's always been there to be competitive, to be feisty, to be strong, as people would call me, or other people would probably have more aggressive words than that. But
do we analyze?
Yeah, I think that's just in me.
Do we analyze your personality because you're a woman more than we would Tony Stewart or Kevin Harvick, or like it's because you're a woman in a man's sport, therefore we're sort of acknowledging your competitiveness?
I don't know 100%. You could tell me if you think that, like, given a certain incident being similar, what would the judgment be? But I would say in general, I would think that people expect a girl to be more of a lady. But
you want to fight? Like, can you get to that anger?
I have had guys tell me, well, how can I get mad? I can't. It's not like I can fight you. And I'm like, well, who's throwing punches here? I'm not punching you. Like, can't we just throw verbal punches?
Oh.
That's fine, right?
Yeah.
I mean.
Matt Kenseth throws punches, or Brad Keselowski, they throw punches.
I mean, if I throw a punch, you can throw one right back. Pretty sure nobody's...
You could take Casey Kane, though, right?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of them I could take, but Casey's definitely one of them. I should have probably taken care of that at Fontana when he right-reared me at 210, but I didn't. Instead, I think he was a little scared for a little while. I didn't say a lot of hellos.
Uh-oh.
But I kind of wanted to keep him right there.
But how cliquey is that whole fraternity, and a sorority, of the drivers there? When you go to these tracks, you're seeing the same people every single week.
Yeah.
And what happened last week, and then you go into the next week.
I mean, it's pretty challenging for me to think that if somebody is a jerk on the track, that they're not kind of a jerk in everyday life a little bit. I mean, So it's really hard to separate them. So I do judge them off the track based on their on-track performance. But yeah, there's plenty to choose from. There's plenty of people to choose from to be friends with. You don't have to be friends with anyone you don't want to.
But do you know the people who don't like you?
No, I don't. I just know the people I don't like. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people that
Like,
don't
who do
like
you
me.
just not like?
I can't. Dan, this is what I needed to make sure. I prepared myself mentally for this. I knew that
you did?
I knew that you could put me in positions that I would regret.
So you're not going to say Keselowski.
Because you're good at what you do.
You did not say Brad Keselowski, right?
Well, actually, the other day we were racing in Sonoma, and Saturday was a pretty low day for things to do. So the afternoon is spent at the pool, and I hung out with Kyle Larson's girlfriend, Caitlin, because Kyle and Ricky were golfing, and Brad and Paige's girlfriend, and Joey and his wife, Brittany. And I have not had issues with Brad, but I had one little one, but we rectified it very early on. I just missed my braking zone. It was really my fault, and I said sorry. But I've had issues with Joey. So it's like, again, like he's one of those drivers. It's hard for me to differentiate between like some of the things you've done on track have really been disappointing, but yet you're friendly here at the pool today. So it's tough.
Would you rather that they weren't different like that? Because then you go, well, he's kind of nice. I don't want him to be nice.
I'd rather him just not be a jerk on the track. That would be much easier.
Well, then you have this situation where Tony wins.
Yes, which was awesome.
But here he is, bumping Hamlin, and then Denny goes, I was so proud of you with what you did because you were trying to win a race.
Well, I mean, there are so many times where people do things that are really dumb, and I think that they're not thinking straight. Like, there's a time and a place for things. Like, I was taken out by somebody 10 laps down at Michigan. Like, there's a time and a place, and racing lead lap cars when you're 10 laps down is not the time and place to put yourself in the middle of a situation. But Tony, I mean, I was so happy for him, and he texted me back and said I'd used up the 11 a little bit, and I said, buddy, there is a time and a place for all of that, and it is for the win. So that's cool that Denny understood that and got that, and I agree, that's the time and the place. Like, a win is a win, and they're really, really hard to get. And no matter what, even if you're Tony Stewart racing in your last season. So I can respect all of that. But, lap 56 of 360 is probably not the time. Stuff like that.
Danica Patrick in New York today promoting NBC season launch of NASCAR. It's Saturday night, the Coke Zero 400 from Daytona, 7 Eastern. The number 10 Nature's Bakery Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. If you could pick a track for the win.
Oh, I probably have to be Martinsville for me. I feel like I've probably had the most success there. I really love speedways. They're exciting, but man, there's a lot of luck involved. But in the beginning, when I wasn't as good at driving the cars on other tracks, they were some of my only chances. So if I had to pick one for the win, yeah, I mean, I think Martinsville is a fun one anyway, just because you can kind of bump and move people out of the way a little bit.
What's the track that should not be in the rotation?
For the entire championship?
Yeah. Is there one that just, you don't like it, or it's not safe, or personally frustrating?
We race on a lot of 1.5 miles. We probably could do without one of them.
Like? I want names today, Danica.
Gosh, I know you're really pushing me.
If I guess it, will you tell me?
Is there one that you're bored of watching, like where we get strung out? I think people criticize.
Michigan?
I mean, I think there's like a Michigan or Kansas people can get frustrated with because they're more boring and they get more spread out because aerodynamics matter a little bit more, so it's harder to get close to the cars around you. And I know that the drivers in NASCAR try and work together to try and make the setup of the car, make the rules package of the car different to make it better for racing, but it's just hard. It's just hard to do. So, I mean, they're all very similar, which is why I say the 1.5 miles, because, when you say a short track, well, Phoenix is a lot different than Loudon, and Loudon's a lot different than Richmond. So, those vary a little bit, but the 1.5 miles tend to feel really similar.
Do you still have doubters?
well, I'm a bear in the woods comes to mind.
Really? But it's because you haven't won. Why are the doubters still there? I mean, you've proven yourself.
I would say that they probably exist for everyone on some level. I mean, I think that once you get to a certain point on the top echelon of success, there are probably not necessarily as much doubters as much as just people that don't like you. But I would say it's pretty hard to get away from having any doubters at all.
So your boyfriend is a NASCAR driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like acting, that actors date actors. Did you think that, you were going to...
We're still playing in the same movie together, so
yes.
It's going well.
Who's more competitive? I have a hard time thinking he could be.
In general, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
I think
you
there are
spin him
certain
out
times,
to win?
like when we're on the golf course,
Yeah.
like it took him 2 years to finally play music on the golf cart or let me play mine. Now he plays his own. It's awesome. But he was very, very up. Things like that. He's very competitive. I suck, so it's just easy for me to be like, I'll like hit one into the sand and I'll be like, it's my time to shine. Look at this. Watch this. Did you see that? And I'll just throw the ball because it goes further when I throw it.
You
sometimes
throw it out of the bunker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yes, I do sometimes.
Would you spin him out to win?
It's
Final
pretty,
lap.
I have a lot of judgment of people who are willing to just purely wreck somebody to get them out of the way, kind of in any situation. I just think that's a cheaper way to do it. I mean, to move someone is different. I think that, if you work on them for a little bit and then you need to move them to get them out of the way, I think that is fine. But spinning someone out for the win, I mean... Like if I only had one chance, yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to, but...
Hell yes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a cheap way, to just like ram them into the corner and then, I don't know.
But what Stewart did to Hamlin,
yeah,
you could do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that easy. I mean, I've clearly totally sucked at taking people out when I've tried terribly.
Oh, so you've tried to...
Yes, it's gone horribly for me.
But if I said...
But I make their day more difficult, but it doesn't mean that I don't have a difficult day then, too.
If you could help Tony Stewart win a race, or your boyfriend.
I have to help my teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the right answer. Yeah.
Yep.
Tony's,
That's the way it works.
Tony's signing
he'd
your
do
checks.
the same thing, too.
Tony's signing your checks there.
It is. We're like the Capulets and the Montagues with
Ooh.
Ford and Chevrolet.
Look
but
at that.
It won't stay like that next year, but... We'll both be one or the other.
The impact with other women wanting to do this for a living. Have you seen anything where they look at you, with women with Sprint Cup or, what kind of legacy are you leaving here, you think?
That's a good question. I think it's hard to know. I think it's hard to know when you're in the middle of it. Sometimes I think it takes a little bit of removal to reflect.
But you get letters from girls who want to do this? Are they arguing?
And boys, too.
Oh, you do?
And prison mail. That one usually comes to the home address, though.
You're big with the inmates, huh?
I've gotten some. Anyway, we'll move along. I don't think that's a good subject to stay on for all kinds of reasons. I would hope I leave the legacy to, I would hope people remember me that I'm a great driver, that I was a great driver when I'm done. And if they remember that I'm a girl second, that would be nice. But I hope they remember me as a great driver. And holy crap, she was a girl. She did really well. That would be cool. And hopefully I would love to be a driver that's won in IndyCar and NASCAR. That would be a cool legacy as well. So that's a pretty short list. I would hope that it just inspires people to do whatever they want. I'm not necessarily trying to inspire girls to be race car drivers as much as I'm trying to inspire people to be their very best and to do whatever it is that they love and go all the way with it. So I think that, my friends all laugh at me, but I just have this really simple saying of try harder for everything. Like I was doing an interview today about like fitness, and she said, what would you tell, women who are, in the gym working out? But try harder. It's easy. Just try harder. Try harder, do better.
Fritzy,
I
you
tell
hear
myself that.
Fritzy, try harder.
That's
Try harder,
great
do better.
advice.
Yeah, try harder for a change.
Serious.
It's great to see you.
It's really great to see you.
Wait, you were going to say something?
I was.
What?
I have a gift for you
Whoa.
to put in your man cave.
Oh, you do? Oh, Paulie's
going to go grab it for me.
Paulie's either leaving or he's going to go get it.
Oh, there.
Oh, it's the new cardboard cutout of Danica Patrick.
The color of my skin is different, and by my skin I mean my suit. So, if people want to know if that's really the real height of me, I do have heels on, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, how tall are you?
5'1.5".
Oh, okay.
It all matters. It's kind of like I'm 3.5. It all matters at that height.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't want you to ever forget about me.
I can't. I will not.
I took your parking spot down there, D. Patrick.
That was great. When we did that SportsCenter commercial. Didn't you fly up from Letterman?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't you take a helicopter?
I think I maybe helicoptered, or we sat in the car for hours. But we came to you, and it was really cool.
And it was a Prius.
It was.
I was driving my Prius.
It was, and I was like, "Is that really your car?"
I know. I felt so small that day.
Do you still lead the way in the green direction?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it.
Is that what you drive now? Or do you drive like a Tesla or something?
No.
Something.
I drive a Ram truck.
I drive a Chevrolet.
You should try the Ram truck.
You should try the Chevy Tahoe.
I did.
I love the Chevy Tahoe.
I'll race you with my Ram.
As long as you don't ram me with your Ram, I think I'll win.
We'll race for pink slips here.
Pink slips.
We'll exchange some paint, perhaps.
Okay. I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid.
No, and I'm not either.
I get the feeling like competitively you and I would probably butt heads.
We would probably kill each other.
Yeah. But you said you wanted to get back into yoga, so I'm really excited if I were to do yoga with you.
I said that privately. I was off the record.
Well, I feel like everything's on the table with you. So anyway, I feel like competitively you and I in yoga would be funny because I would be a lot better. And I'd love to see you try.
Downward dog?
It starts there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Danica Patrick, the Saturday night Coke 0400 from Daytona International Speedway, 7 Eastern. It's the number 10 Nature's Bakery Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you, Dan. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, my daughter, Danica Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.